Ну,
Oh no. No. No, no. I knew I wouldn't be the last one. Did they also tell you the tales about... Have lured you into a trap, you know. And you fell for it. Because you're arrogant. Just as I am. As I was. I know I'm not real. At least not according to your... But then again... If I told you that you and your friend Sirius actually lie dead at the bottom of the sea, and that everything... The answer is no. Because you don't want to be dead. Therefore, your mind will do anything to make you believe... Doesn't it? Tell me, what is time to the dead and dreaming anyway? The last, a self-created sanctuary built from nothing but your wishes. But what's the point in talking anyway? You don't want to believe me.
да я тебе где вообще не приставал, ты чё?
Of trying to make you. What? They haven't told you about him? Oh, that's so typical. The suppressor. He's the reason why we will be imprisoned here forever. And... You know, sometimes I wonder if that's exactly what we... But no. No, not yet. It's too early to surrender. Yeah, I'll wait. And you will wait with...
Сбегите из этого странного места.
What the? How did you do that?
Что?
You simply opened it? Come on. We have to look. We have to look and see what's outside. We won't get far, but still, we have to see. Come,
Все откроется,
lead the
ага.
way.
Ну, камон. Вас не видят. Было бы странно. Где-то я это уже видел.
Gods, these are the suppressor.
Дядя, придурок! Мать моя женщина, я пошутил. А, у меня меч есть, прикиньте. Почему я тогда его не использую? А? Пошла вон. Где ты там? Ты че, больной что ли? То иди ты, ля. Так, нам походу сюда, нет? Нашел гвозди. Так, где вы там? Ай, шо нафиг. Что это такое? Ну и чё здесь? Ничего интересного, что ли? Так, отсюда мы пришли, да? Здесь у нас что? Твою мать, что так предупреждать надо? Так, где-то есть лестница была, вот. Где там? Хорошо, что колокольчики у них висят.
So cold. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea to go out. After all, I mean, yeah. Yes, the cell is small. At least it's safe.
Ты хорош уже. Здесь кого-то знатно потрепало. Совратитель. Ну ты где, алло? Я тут, совращай меня полностью. Дядь, тебе нормально? А, нормально. Где этот дядя? Погнали! Тира, это что за череп такой? А, это от этих, наверное. Эх, господи. Мамонт от мамонтов. Хотя странный как. Ну, допустим. Так, чё я? Пойдем дальше. Тихо, 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 тихо.
Haven't we been here before? By the gods, everything here looks so similar. It's a damn maze. Oh,
Ну ты по печени такой штукой получал? Нет? Ну, значит, не там же. Так что норм. Идем куда-то. Не ссать.
No. Do you see it? All the cells, they're all empty, and there's blood. Oh no. There were people in there just like us. They didn't know their place either, and now they're dead.
Слушай, зато хлеба наберу. Нормально.
They've simply
На месяц вперед.
dissolved because they disobey the suppressor. By the gods, this is what will happen to us too. I knew it was a mistake to leave in the first place. I just knew it.
Слушай, да ты задрал уже, а? Успокойся, дядя. Не нервируй меня, а то зарежу. Так, где-то мы с тобой Не туда свернули. Так. Килетки. Может быть здесь где-то. Нет, не здесь. На кой хрен мы вообще сюда приходили? Ну вот оно что, Михалыч. Получи. Не-не-не-не-не-не-не. Мне не так не понравилось. Так, сейчас я хлебушка бахну, подождите. Ага. Так, что за кольцо? Ну-ка. Ага. И что теперь? Иди, чуть нажми. Щу. Иди давай. Бесполезный, сука, человек. Ну вот тут говорил, иди. Так. Что ты такое вообще? Ну и чё? Ну тогда за эту хоть дерни. И в чем прикол ловушки, что-то я не понял. Ну допустим.
Oh no, no! Can't you see? We're back.
Ну чё, бывает и такое. Давай, может, поспим. Чё мне спать-то? Так. Так, ну что, дяденька, ты не придумал, как мы текать отсюда будем? А? Ништяк. Прогресс на лицо.
Well. So you figured it out? Yes. I am what keeps you in this place. But was it blind rage that made you act, or have you truly understood who I am? Have you understood what drives you and determines your actions?
Да вообще на похер,
The
короче,
salt corrodes your
получилось.
skin, and the water filling your lungs is cold. But you still haven't found it, child, have you?
Короче, надо было его еще раньше уже грохнуть, потому что изначально он меня бесил, собака.
Oh, hey. Good to see you awake. How are you feeling? Good question. The room was empty when I came here. Actually, that's quite weird now that you mention it. The entire temple seemed kind of deserted. Probably a ceremony or something like that. Now, tell me, how are you holding up? I heard this trial's quite the feat. Apparently some of the novices never wake up again. In the temple, the curarium to be precise. You were brought here when you were traveling with that Ixon guy. I think the others are already awake, but I didn't want to leave you here, so I thought I'd just stay. I mean, hey, you are a keeper of the first sigil now, aren't you? I believe congratulations are in order. Don't mention it. Bad, though, that this keeperness won't get you anywhere. Do you know why? Because you're pathetic. Simply pathetic.
I said you are pathetic. At first we believed it would be more exciting this time. But now that we've seen the new prophet, our hopes are gone. You're a joke.
A nobody who let his only friend kick the bucket.
As if you'd ever accept that. You humans are always so damn persistent, aren't you? Why? Why can't you just let go?
Because in the end, you are powerless, just as all those before you. And you, prophet, you are the biggest joke of all.
You are nothing but an urchin.
A weakling.
And a murderer.
А ты кто такая?
And that is why you will burn. All of you. The cleansing will happen, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. What have you done to us? You are so naive. The world is an interplay of cause and effect, and the only logical consequence of your existence is... But enough of the banter, urchin. We wanted to meet you, and so we did, even though the result is rather... Now wake up! Keep on stumbling through the mist.
А я тебе говорил, не пей эту хрень.
Thank Malphus. I was starting to think I was the only one. How are you? You look exhausted. Then you have a remarkable constitution. Usually the after effects of the potion last for days. But it's good to see the Grandmaster was right after all. I woke up just a few hours earlier, and he was here in the meantime. He didn't doubt for but I suppose mutual congratulations are in order. We made it. We passed the trial. Almost, yes. All that is left to do is to take the oath, and then Grandmaster Speaking of whom, he also told me some things while you were asleep. About the Pyreans, about these dreams, and of course about... This is so bizarre, really. At first we're told out of nowhere that the gods have died, and now humanity is on the brink of extinction. Hard to say. I never had those dreams the Grandmaster talked about, even though I'm magically gifted. But then again, I always had the feeling that the Red Madness was more than an ordinary disease. At least now I can understand why the Grandmaster was willing to break all the traditions of the Order just to get you exalted to be a keeper. According to him, most of our battle against the cycle will stand or fall with you. Yes, I believe that. It's a great responsibility you've been given, and as impressive as your skills are, I would not want to change places with you. Well, as I said, we both have to take the Holy Oath. You should talk to the Grandmaster as soon as you're ready. He's waiting for you in the Emporium. Right. Dunwar. The apothecary examined him about an hour ago, and it doesn't look good. It's likely that he'll never wake up again. He was impulsive, yes. But to some extent, I can understand why he was the way he was. You know, Dunwar was one of those people who tried to gild their insecurity with boastful... The reality is that he was the last of his bloodline, and his faith in the path and his destiny as a keeper were all that he had left. But I guess Master Bartar's revelation was just too much for him. It's hard to be told that everything you've lived for was a lie. well, maybe I just don't show it as much. But yes, in a way, you're probably right. I suppose that's mainly due to the fact that to me, as opposed to Dunwar, funny that the Grandmaster said nearly the same thing during the exaltation. Dunwar would have considered it blasphemy. That's true. A lot of crimes were committed during the Lightborn's reign, and I don't want to minimize that. But I also think a lot of... Imagine you're the king of a small island, and one day your realm gets attacked by a fleet. The invasion catches you completely off guard, and within a few hours, the Reavers have advanced to the farmland, just a few feet from your city's main gates. And will you use the time that remains to entrench your army within the city's walls to have a better chance of surviving a siege? Or do you send them into the field to fight the Reavers there, knowing that there is only a slight chance to save the farmers, but a big risk that you will lose both the city and the farm? It would, yes. But what if your foray fails, and ends up being the reason why the Scarab can break through the city's fortifications? Wouldn't that too make you responsible for all the townsfolk they would kill once they got in? What I'm trying to say is, it doesn't matter what you do. There will be people who will despise you. If your attempt to rescue the farmers fails, you will be accused of having acted blindly and idealistically. And if you just... Of course, there's a small chance the foray might work, but should decisions like that really be made as if they were a game? As I said, I don't mean to absolve the Lightborn of their crimes, but I'd wager my left hand that they had a lot of similar decisions to make. I knew the question. I suppose the answer depends on whether you're in the mood for some gloomy talk. Sooner or later, you'll hear it from someone else anyway, so why not from me first? As you wish. Where should I start? Maybe with the fact that I don't remember anything that happened before. I wish I knew.
Hey.
What I do know, though, is that the first memory I have is of waking up in the middle of some village. It was dark, and I felt dizzy, and I eventually found the strength to get up and look around, and...
Можно краткое содержание, пожалуйста?
That's when I realized what was actually going on around me. The entire village. It had been destroyed.
Уничтожено.
There were corpses everywhere. Men, women, children. And the houses had been crushed as if some mad god had rampaged through the streets there. Whatever it was, I didn't have much time to think about it. As soon as I got up, I saw three. One of them got off his horse, ran towards one of the corpses, and started screaming something in my direction. By the name of the sun, it's strange to talk about it like this. It's been so long, but the memory feels as if it had happened yesterday. It's okay. Anyway, it turned out that the riders were men from the village. They must have observed the... whatever it was from the distance, and ridden back to the village. At least I think that's how it went. The reason they thought I was somehow involved is that the village priest found me a couple of days before it happened. Apparently, I was wearing torn clothing, and no matter what the apothecary tried, he couldn't wake me up from my comatose sleep. And it seems that made the writers think I was some kind of witch child, or for you, maybe. For them, as simple people, it was probably the best explanation they had. And think about it, it's not that far off. They leave to go hunting, and when they come back, they find their village in ruins with that foundling child being the only survivor. You have to admit, probably, truth be told, I try not to think about it too much. And actually, it doesn't matter, because I even made it to Ark all by myself, which didn't turn out to be much of an improvement in the end because I was pathless. Yes. Thinking about it now, I actually wonder how I made it through my time down there. But maybe that's one of the advantages of being a child. Still, the winters down there were cruel, and if Master Tyrus hadn't found and taken care of me, I probably wouldn't have made it through my... Yes, otherwise I would not be here. He saw me, and he knew what he had to do, is how he put it. Of course, the Order wasn't too happy about a pathless child in the Scuola, just as some aren't happy about you being here. But Tyrus was a highly regarded man, and that's why they let it slide. It does, yes. But then he had lost both his wife and daughter, so maybe I was some kind of substitute. I don't know. But in the end, it doesn't matter. I owe him everything. He was a good man, and that's all that matters. Yes, and now... Well, here we've reached the end of my impressive tale. I hope you liked it. Gone. He was very old, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. But I'd prefer not to talk about it, if you don't mind. He does, yes, and he's not alone in his opinion. One of those hunters recognized me in the market my first year as a novice, and you can imagine that it was easy pickings for those who were already against my presence. From then on, they added names to the derogatory stares. Demon Child, Witch, whatever they could come up with. Yes, maybe. You know what's funny? To some extent, I'm glad to be who I am. That way, people just leave me alone, and that gives me more time. Several, but I'd say that's enough of the gloomy stories, don't you think? There will be plenty of time for chatter in the future. Maybe. Yes, all of the Delmordans fell victim to the great flesh maggot plague of 8215. Actually, it was almost sad to see him running around and boasting about his nobility, though everyone knew that without the help of the Order, if you can call that living. You should. It's already late, but if you want, I can show you the most important places in the temple before you go to the Emporium. What do you think? Good. Then get your gear from the chest by your bed.
Ну, пошли. Расскажешь, покажешь. Может быть, не только достопримечательности. Так, а что я туда могу засунуть? Так.
Let's go.
Блин. Ща, погодь. Секундочку, минуточку. Матерь Божья, а что теперь буду это все заново выбирать? Чтоб тебя. Так. Что у нас тут? Это не то. Могу остановиться на 4 больше. Давай пока так. Ну, пока так. Вообще нахрен ванну не надо было. Как и это. Так. Пошло на нахрен. Стоимость 5. А у меня был знак апотекария. Почему я не отдал этому придурку-то? Интересно. Пофигу, пофигу, пофигу. Так, вашу ману на 7 единиц. А это... Становление. Погнали дальше. Нафиг. Ну, допустим. Что это такое? Ну, допустим, на 10. Так, на 6 меньше маны. Вот это хочу. Так, что там? Так, средний рюкзак хочу. Это нафиг. 10 меньше маны. Или мана восстанавливается на 4% быстрее. Что лучше? Ладно. Ну, показывай.
All right, this is the sanctum. It's a place of silence and prayer, and also where we'll be exalted later.
Я ж вроде здесь был уже. Нет?
You just wait and see. Fucking sissy.
Thou art my light, my glimmer at the horizon. Thy name is my sacrament, and thy path I will honor, in life as in death.
Ну давай, речи. Шевели булками. Ну, чё?
From the aged man's abode.
Okay, over there. That's the scuola and the quarters, where both the keepers and the novices live. There's also a training room where everything from swordplay to marksmanship can be trained and taught. You will find some skilled teachers there. Well, I think that's about it. You've already been to the Emporium, and I assume to the Eye of the Gods as well. I suggest you speak to the Grandmaster as soon. Prepare myself, probably. Now walk blessed. I will see you soon.
Так, надо, короче, магистра найти, да? Ну, погнали. И вас туда же.
And you actually believe this could work? It sounds absurd.
I don't believe I know. The mercenary, he might not be the shining knight of Castle Starsound, but he's better than most of your men. I want him, and you will need to convince your true Chesser of it.
Is that so? Very well, I will convince her. You will hear from me.
Все, пошел отсюда, холоп, я буду разговаривать.
Prophet, good to see you. How do you feel? You've never been in any danger. If I had doubted your abilities, even to the slightest, I would have never spoken. In any case, all that is left to do now is to recite the oath. Then we will finally deal with the more urgent matters. The ceremony needs a little preparation. One day, even if it hurts to lose more time, the cleansing approaches. I can feel it. Just this night, people I knew, including you. But these people weren't themselves. There was something else, and it spoke. I believe that these beings are connected to the cycle. They must be the ones who cause it. You did? That is interesting. It must be related to our roles as emissaries. Maybe there is a connection between none. Maybe they are demons or magical entities of some kind, but they are different from every... In any case, if they are indeed responsible for the cycle, they are our enemies. That's what matters for them.
Чё? Прямо сейчас задание компаньона было провалено. Жесть. Ну,
Come
начинается.
back
Вот это
tomorrow
вот
for
всё.
the ceremony.
Так.
Yes. As I said before, my knowledge about that is limited. But if it helps you, imagine that it is a way of perceiving that... Yes. You know, most people perceive themselves as an entity separate from the rest of the dark corners of our mind. Bridges to which we in a conscious state do not have access to. But you do not need to be supernaturally... A moment where you knew exactly what another person thought or would do next. People with close blood ties can especially feel that connection. Children and their mothers, siblings, and especially twins. Correct. And while most people hardly feel this connection at all, as if looking through a tinted window, to you, it is wide open during your visions. Their bodies might be, but the traces they left behind still remain. Everything that was, everything that is. This is the basic principle of magic. And time is not a straight line. Only the barriers of our mind make us visions, premonitions, dreams that become reality. These are all leftovers of waves from other eventualities that spill over into our reality. There have always been people able to read them, but not... Good question. In their writing, the Pyreans say it has existed for aeons. Since this world exists, since the sea of eventualities exists, so too the Pyreans didn't, and neither did the dozen civilizations that came before them. But as for what happened before that, our knowledge about the past is limited. All that matters for now is that the cycle... That depends on whom you ask. In some writings of the Pyreans, a better word would be chess figures with their own will. Whatever force causes the cycle also gave us powers and a task. But fulfilling that task, no. I do not know, but there are hints. We will... Well, that is something else we only know in broad strokes. It is my... Yours is to read the echo and help us gain the knowledge we need for victory. How exactly you're going to do that is something we... As I said before, my knowledge about that is limited. Yes. You know, most people perceive themselves dark corners of our mind. Bridges to which we in a conscious state do not have access to. But you do not need to be super... A moment where you knew exactly what another person thought or would do next. People with close blood ties can especially feel that connection. Children and their mothers, siblings, correct. And their bodies. This is... Walk blessed, Prophet.
Pathlessness wherever you look. Where is this supposed to lead?
Так, что дальше делаем? Задание. Так, получите награду. Давайте получим награду.
My...
Thou art my lights.
Так, это куда мне топать-то? Тихо, что, самоубийца здесь нельзя какой-нибудь вниз-то? Побыстрее спуститься-то.
Mm-hmm.
Что надо? Сто 58 экранов загрузки теперь будет. Пока добегу. Так, не сюда. Так, прыгай ты.
No end to this.
Так, мне надо еще накупить этого говна. Амброзии. Так, что у меня в сундуке? В сундуке у меня куча всякого говна, которое надо продать, я так понимаю. Так, надо скинуть вот это говно. Так, что у меня тут есть? Это говно вообще. Выкинуть надо вообще. Это скинем. Это. Да. Куда я продавать это буду, интересно мне знать. Это. И короче все скинуть. Пока. Двести 80 занято. Чем он так занят-то? Почти не весит ни хрена. Так. Сейчас будем раскидываться. А, ну вот это говно, типа железный слиток. На кой хер они, интересно, мне нужны? Ладно, что здесь что-нибудь еще есть? Так, погнали дальше. Ладно, куда? Погнали. Где этот придурок? О, вот город. А там рынок у них тоже, по-моему, есть же, да? Блин, ну ладно.
my sir. Please, just one penny. Thank you. That's really generous. May his light guide you.
Так, вот эти говнюки будут нападать, нет? Нет.
Obvious, my son. Please. Oh, thank you. Truly are a good person.
Не сказать, чтобы он страдал там сильно. Ложный пес.
What?
May your path always be even. What?
Белый стол. Можно сесть, если вы хотите играть. Ну, допустим. Во что играем? Кубики моралы.
All right then, bring it on.
И чё? Я должен сделать? Давай с полтосика я хотел начать. Ну ладно. Допустим. Только мне 3 нужно выкинуть, да? Ну, допустим.
May your path always be
Ни хера непонятно, но очень интересно.
Welcome to you, merry drunkards, come along and drink.
Huh? What do you want?
What are you doing here? Go ogle someone else.
Так, мне этого говнаря найти надо. Погнали искать. Театр у колодца. На всякий случай какой-нибудь скрытый маг.
What is it, Sunchild? Fair enough. Maybe there's a trick or two I could show you, but trust me, they don't come cheap.
Ну, допустим. Так, энтропия, псионика. Так, а что у меня здесь есть? Цветный дар, могильная искра смерти. На это говно у меня есть. Тоже меч, лук, паника. Ну, что-то ты такой себе, конечно, дядя. Так, энтропия. А у меня что есть, интересно? О, у меня есть 2 очка обучения. Почему я не увидел? Вообще говно какое-то, да? Так. А я их читал, да? Угу. Так. А, зачем я пепельную гаут убрал? Блин. Или миссия останется? Миссия-то останется без книги. Останется.
Yes, yes. Just move along, will you?
Так, и чё, у меня там остались эти неизученные, да? Вот это. И... Здесь очень продвинутый для вас. Да пофигу. Вон, и вот это. Так. Давайте будем посмотреть. Так. Огонь и лед. Так, что мы здесь будем? Как отлетит? Реализован, давай. Так, что там самое? Все, да? Электрический удар сверхновой. Это что-то? Так, электрический удар сверхновой. Уровень 1. Фокус. Результаты можно заклинания. А это что за фигня? Ага. И что я с этим должен делать?
Yes.
Так. Ну-ка, для дебилов. На секунду. 40 единиц. Так. Вот эту хрень когда так. Как активировать? А? Непонятно.
That's a nice dress you're wearing there, sunchild. I'd be careful. Some people down here would kill for something like that.
Relata Shara. You know why we're here.
The shadow text.
Что это было? Пошел ты нахер. В смысле? Ты где там? Это мало сдушитель. И все? У тебя никаких ништяков, что ли? Вот это ты днище, конечно. Почти завалил. Стоямба. Кусок сыра. Ренги берем. Чисто пожрать. Так, а что я должен тут? Ну, допустим. Нормалды. Вино не помню, что восстанавливает. По-моему, магию нет. Ну, манну. Что она? Да. Так, по книгам. Так, это я читал уже. А вообще что, сожрать ее просто, да, и все, да? Посох 8. Обойдемся с посохом. Так, книги по снам и видениям. А нам не надо? Ну, допустим, надо. Это мы видели. Да господи, дядя, почему у тебя одни и те же книги? Побережье, это тоже мы видели. Псионика, вот это не помню. Так. Нормальный амулетик такой. Там 2 у меня был. Или 3. Блин, не помню. Значит, был. Так. Всем, что ли? Вот и все. тоже смотрел. Так. На какой хрен мне лопата? Так, я здесь не был еще, да? Да. Стальной щит мне не надо. А продавать нахрен это все. Папа говорить вообще, что за манеры? Дыхание смерти был у меня такой? Ну, допустим. Так, что нам надо? Награду, сражение в хуйной яме, церемония, дозор арка. Че, может сюда? Пока же шарахаемся. Так вот. Чуть. Так. Ну, погнали. Так, а вот это я выключу. Задание. Да, это я выключу.
Мессер?
Сам такой.
Watch yourself. The streets aren't safe this time of the day.
Да я сама опасность, вы че?
Greetings.
И тебе не харать. Так, ладно, чё, наверное, в следующий раз уже дотопаем до туда. Да? Да.